Good morning and good afternoon or good evening, classmates. So, this is the continuation of the reporting for strategy implementation. So, last meeting, Doc Anna was able to discuss the definition, the importance, elements, and Philippine context. And today, I'm going to discuss briefly the challenges, the best practices, sustainability, and the conclusion about the strategy implementation. So, let me introduce myself. My name is Carla Obispo, and I'm an English instructor. I teach IELTS, PTE, OET, TOEFL to medical professionals like nurses, medtechs, and physical therapists. So now, okay, I'm happy that I'm part of this class because I learn a lot about the public school setting, the private schools. It's great to learn about your experiences. So today, I'm going to tell you more about the challenges in strategy implementation. So, kahit pala well formulated o maayos ang mga strategies, maraming organizations, lalo na sa educational institutions, ang nagfe-fail sa implementation stage. Ibig sabihin, hindi sapat ang maganda yung plano kung hindi naman ito properly na ipapatupad. So, sa context ng educational management, may mga common challenges na lumalabas na nagiging hadlang sa effective strategy implementation. So, let me give you five challenges. So, number one is leadership and management issues. So, isang malaking challenge ay ang kakulangan ng matibay at consistent na leadership. Minsan, yung mga school heads and administrators ay hindi nakakapagbigay ng malinaw na direction or sapat na commitment or support kaya nahihirapan maipatupad ng maayos ang mga strategic plans. So, idagdag pa natin dito yung madalas na pagpapalit ng leadership, lalo na sa public schools. Ito yung nagdudulot ng disruption of continuity ng mga strategies na nasimulan na. Like for example, itong principal na to, sobrang dedicated siya for this plan. But then, napalitan siya the next year. So, mahirap yung continuity na hindi na pala na-monitor yung strategic plan na to. The second one is resistance to change. So, ang mga teachers, staff, at iba pang stakeholders ay maaring mag-resist sa bagong strategies kasi takot sila na madagdagan yung workload nila. Okay? So, wala silang enough understanding or hindi malinaw yung reason behind this pagbabago, 'di ba? So sa educational settings, madalas itong nangyayari kapag hindi sila kasali sa planning process or kapag ang pagbabago ay binigay lang ng institution without proper consultation. Okay, so ito sobrang ano to sa mga seasoned teachers like okay, ito na yung bago nating gagamiting program but then walang enough time to train them to use this technology to use this program. So parang, bakit? Gumagana naman to. Bakit natin papalitan? So, ito, ang one of the challenges, resistance to change. Okay, number two is resource constraints. So, yung limited financial, human, and technological resource ay malaking balakid sa implementation. Maraming schools, lalo na sa mga developing countries like the Philippines, they struggle with inadequate funding. Okay? So, kulang yung pondo, hindi sapat yung facilities, at kulang din yung qualified personnels. So, ito yung nagiging hadlang ng maayos and effective na pagpapatupad ng mga plans natin. The next one is communication gaps. So, yung mahinang communication sa pagitan ng top management and implementers ay nagdudulot ng misunderstanding sa goals. Yung sa priorities, ano ba talaga yung role namin dito? Kapag ang mga strategic objectives ay hindi malinaw na naipapaliwanag or naisasalin sa operational plans, nagiging magulo at hindi magkakaugnay yung implementation. So now, let's talk about the weak monitoring and evaluation. Kapag walang malinaw na performance indicators at monitoring mechanisms, ito yung nagpapahirap sa atin para i-monitor yung progress. Mahirap i-evaluate kung ano yung outcomes. Kapag walang timely feedback, hindi natin magagawa yung adjustments ng mga institution para mapabuti yung implementation. Okay? So now, para ma-address yung mga challenges na to, maaari nating i-adapt yung mga educational institutions, yung mga iba't ibang best practices para masiguro na maayos and effective ang strategy implementation. So let's start with strong instructional and strategic leadership. Yung mga effective leaders, meron silang mahalagang role sa pag-align ng vision, mission, and araw-araw na operations ng school. So dapat ang mga school leaders ay maging role model ng commitment. They have to motivate yung stakeholders and make sure na malinaw yung mga strategies sa lahat ng levels of organization. Okay? So, number two, stakeholder engagement and participation. So, yung pagsali natin sa mga teachers, staff, students, and parents at community partners sa implementation process, ito yung nakakapagpalakas ng sense of ownership. Project natin to. So, ito yung nakakabawas ng resistance to change. So, if we have this participatory approach, mas nahihikayat natin yung collaboration and shared responsibility sa buong school community. Okay? Number three is clear communication and alignment. So, itong mga strategic goals, dapat malinaw siyang naibibigay dun sa departmental, okay, and individual responsibilities, okay? So, sa pamamagitan ng pag-translate ng strategies into actionable plans, malinaw na timeline at performance targets, masisiguro natin na magkakaugnay yung strategy and actual execution. Number four is capacity building and professional development. So itong continuous training and professional development ay nagpapalakas ng kakayahan ng educators at administrators, kaya mas nagiging effective yung pagpapatupad ng strategies, and yung capacity building ay nakakatulong din sa mga institutions na maging ready sa mga pagbabago and innovation. And lastly, so monitoring, evaluation, and feedback systems. Yung pagkakaroon ng clear indicators of success at regular na pagre-review ng progress ay tumutulong sa mga institutions na matukoy kung ano ba yung mga gaps, ano ba yung gaps at paano ba makakagawa ng evidence-based decisions. So, yung mga feedback mechanisms naman, sumusuporta sa continuous improvement at accountability. So now, let's talk about the sustainability of strategy implementation. So, yung sustainability, ang nagsisigurong hindi panandalian lang yung mga strategic initiatives, kundi nagiging bahagi na ng mga practices ng organization. Okay? So let's have institutionalization of strategies. Okay? Ang mga strategies ay dapat maisama sa policies, procedures, at standard operating practices ng institution. So kapag ang strategies ay na-institutionalize, hindi na masyadong nakadepende sa isang leader lamang at mas nagiging matatag kahit may pagbabago sa leadership. Kahit magpalit-palit ka ba ng principal, kung kasama na sa policy ito, magiging consistent na siya. So we also need to have a long-term resource planning. Ang sustainable implementation ay nangangailangan ng maingat na planning ng financial, human, at material resources. Yung pagda-diversify ng funding sources at pag-invest sa capacity development ay nakakatulong para sa pangmatagalang sustainability ng mga programs and strategies. Number three, ito po yung organizational culture and continuous improvement. So, ang kultura na nagpapahalaga sa learning, innovation, and adaptability ay sumusuporta sa sustainable strategy implementation. So, kailangan ang mga educational institutions ay patuloy na nagre-reflect sa kanilang practices and handang tumugon sa mga bagong hamon sa pagbabago ng educational landscape. And lastly, okay, alignment with national and local educational goals. So sa konteksto ng Pilipinas, mas nagiging sustainable ang implementation kapag ang mga institutional strategies ay nakahanay sa national policies ng mga framework ng DepEd at SHED. Okay, so yung ganitong alignment, it makes sure na may relevance, mas malakas na suporta at continuity ang mga programa kahit may pagbabago sa leadership and sa system. Okay? So, conclusion. Oh, 10 minutes lang ako. Okay. So, conclusion. Ang strategy implementation ay napakahalaga. Dahil dito, nakikita kung nagiging successful ba ang plano ng isang organization. So, sa education, kailangan ng maayos na leadership. So, kailangan isala yung mga stakeholders, sapat na resources at tamang monitoring. So, kahit may problema tulad ng resistance sa pagbabago at kakulangan ng resources, mas nagiging effective ang implementation kapag maayos ang plano at pangmatagalan ng approach. So, in the end, makakatulong ito sa mga schools na mapabuti ang performance at makapagbigay ng quality education. Thank you everybody for listening, and I hope you were able to listen and learn about the sustainable practices para sa ating strategy implementation. Thank you everybody and have a great day ahead.